Welcome to Idiot's Guide to Universal?
Wait, what?
Don't worry, you haven't entered the wrong queue. We're just taking a slight detour. It's opening week of Universal Epic Universe, and we're putting on our Imagineering hats and pitching our own addition to the park. Buckle up because we're about to make Epic Universe even more epic, right here on Idiot's Guide to Imagineering. Hey Imagine Idiots, it's episode 16 of season 3, and for the first time ever, we're stepping outside the Disney bubble. This Wednesday, Orlando is getting its first brand new major theme park in over 25 years, and the early buzz has us so hyped to check it out. Of course, I couldn't go rogue into another theme park alone, so I brought my own loyal minions along for the ride. Meet Bob, Stuart, and Kevin. Katie, Marissa, and Jenny.
I want to be Kevin.
Hi. I'll be whoever. I don't care. I just want to be a minion.
Marissa, you're definitely Bob. That makes Jenny Stuart. No, Katie, you're Kevin.
Yay! I love
See, I don't know the Minions. I haven't seen any Minion stuff.
Oh,
What?
Wait,
I'm sorry. I know.
what?
I'm so sorry.
You haven't
so
seen
sorry.
any of the movies?
No.
Jenny. What?
I know.
Out of the 18
Even
movies
I-
they have,
That's,
you
why,
haven't
that's
seen
why
them?
I said Minion stuff, because I was thinking, I know there's like more than one.
Despicable Me.
Okay, is that the first one? That's
Yeah,
like what
that's
started
the
it?
first
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Wow. Even I've seen that movie.
And Katie's never seen
bad.
a movie.
It's true. It's true. Well, of course, our FOMO levels were through the roof, and Steven, Jenny, and I cannot wait for the crowds to die down because we are taking our first steps into Epic Universe on June 20th. So you can expect a full recap of our experience the following week. And Marissa will have a new baby minion by then, so she will have to sit this one out.
Yeah, I try to tell him, can you just wait? But no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just hang in there. I'm trying to get to the park.
Oh, that's true. And to be honest, he might even be here by the time this episode airs. So we may be going up one follower on all the socials.
Yes.
So make sure you are also following us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, and anywhere else you can find us at Idiots Imagineering.
Wow, that's how we grow our follower account. We just have Marissa
Mhm.
have more babies.
Yep.
There we
Get
go.
busy. Get to work, girl.
No, thank you. I'm tired. Let's just have the one for now.
Well, don't forget, if you leave us a review, we will share it on an upcoming episode, like this one that we got a few months back from Keeper Kimberly, who we can only assume is our dear friend Kim, who joined us as a guest earlier this season. Kim writes, if you're a Disney fan, this is the podcast for you. It's like sitting around a table listening to your besties talk about ideas for Disney parks. And the ideas are so good, you wish they were reality. These idiots and former cast members dream up new Disney park attractions with the true spirit of Imagineering. Walt would be so proud. In true Disney fashion, this podcast is an amazing escape from reality into a world of Disney imagination with a healthy dose of humor, puns, and witty banter. The Too Long Didn't Read version, she wrote this. Listen to these idiots. They're my favorite podcast.
Oh,
So
she's our
nice.
favorite
We love
zookeeper
him. The best zookeeper.
that
An
ever was.
amazing guest. Go check her out on episode 6.
Yes.
Leaf Gliders with Katie's project there.
Also, I feel
I think
really
it was episode
old.
7.
Was it? Oh, it may have been 7. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel really old. I never knew what TLDR meant. So thank you, Kim.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I knew that
Mhm.
one. Look
It's
at
the
all these
kids'
things
lingo.
I've done today. Phrases,
Wow.
movies. I've seen it all. Left my couch this week.
She's an expert.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kim. That was so nice. And yes, definitely check out episode 7 of this season for our Jungle Book inspired attraction that I dreamed up especially for her honor in joining us in the Animal Kingdom.
Well, in all the excitement leading up to the opening, I want to know what everyone is most excited for at Epic Universe. It can be a land, attraction, restaurant, show, anything at all.
Everything.
Marissa,
Everything.
Since you don't get to go, you tell us first.
Yeah, that's so mean.
Oh.
I didn't even mean that
You're
mean. It just
there
came
in
out like,
spirit.
I
oh.
know.
In spirit, in my heart.
I also have
Mhm.
watched so many of the preview videos and reviews, and it's like nonstop. I'm obsessed. So I can't wait to hear your guys' take on it. But it's without a doubt the Ministry of Magic.
Oh,
I
mine.
cannot wait for the queue. I cannot wait for the attraction. Everyone is saying it is the best dark ride in existence on planet Earth. So, like, it's killing me that I will not be able to do it right away. So, can't wait for that.
So for me, I think all this is, it's not an attraction. It's not a ride. It's not a
Oh,
restaurant.
I know what you're going to say.
All this hype around meeting
The popcorn bucket.
Toothless.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there is a Toothless popcorn bucket, but I meant to actually
Yes.
meet him and Hiccup, because these videos, like, the Hiccup performers are insane. The voices are spot on. I just want to pet Toothless so bad and see his little nose wriggle.
Yeah.
And like that's the number one thing
Cute.
for me. I know that's ridiculous, and it's like, of all the stuff to see, I really want to see that. I'm not even connected to those movies. It's just so
Yeah.
cute.
You know what's so funny? I have not seen, shocker, I have not seen those movies, but it's making me want to go see those movies. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
I need to watch them before I go, because I'm not like, I need to know what I'm walking into and
Yeah.
what this is going to be. So
I
great job,
watched-
Universal.
I watched 1 and 2 recently to prepare, and I really liked the first one. I liked the second one even better. So
Really?
they're sweet movies. So definitely watch it if you have time.
Okay.
Okay, Katie, what are you most excited for?
Okay, so yes, I have been avoiding all spoilers. I really, this is the first time I've gone to a new theme park since I've been alive, or like since I was 10. I don't remember when Islands opened. But anyways, I really want this experience to be special and take it all in and really have no expectations other than my own. But what I am excited for, and what I have been trying to avoid the most, is the Monsters Land. To me, I'm so excited for that. Like, Universal Monsters is like a thing with my dad. Like, we would watch those old movies when I was a kid growing up. We watch a lot of old, like, Abbott Costello meets Frankenstein and Dracula and all those good ones too, like silly ones. And then just as a kid, when we would go to Universal, like, my favorite thing was going to Monsters Cafe with my dad and going to get pizza and burgers or whatever. And that was the thing that I was most sad that closed. And then obviously I was happy that we were getting an entire land with it. So I am beyond excited for this. I think the ride's going to be amazing. I think the theming is going to be amazing. I just overall can't wait to experience it all and see it all and just live out. That's the nostalgia of my childhood. And so I connect with that, and I cannot wait to go there. And I've heard great things on the ride. So I'm like, ready to go.
Yeah, I've heard the animatronics are just next
Yes.
level.
We're going to have to be the decision breaker when we
It's-
go.
It's so exciting. Like, this is so exciting. Like, it really, like, I went to Islands of Adventure when it opened. My uncle worked for Universal at the time, so we got to go to like the soft openings for it, and that was like really cool because you're like little and you're going on the stuff and you don't appreciate it. And now as like an adult, I'm like, I kind of grasp the magnitude of this, of like a brand new theme park, and I'm
Right.
like, oh my
We've
God.
never experienced this as adults.
Yeah. I'm so
Mhm.
excited. I can't wait. I
Yeah.
guess you can. Yeah. No, we really haven't. No, nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. Correct.
Yeah.
All right, Jenny, tell me. What are we riding
Well,
with you?
I'm going to be a repeater. I'm going to say the same as Marissa. And I never thought I'd be so excited to see a queue for an attraction, but Ministry of Magic, I have to say as well. Just like what the videos and the pictures that are coming out, I'm so mesmerized. They look absolutely amazing. So I can't wait to see them in person.
It's a great example of the concept art being realized at its full potential.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks
Mhm.
better than
Yeah,
someone posted
exactly.
that. I think we may have talked about that before. Someone
Mhm.
posted the renderings to the actuals, and it looks better in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
They did that. They really did the damn thing.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see it. I can't.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
Excited.
Well, I'll see it in 2085, basically. So, have fun.
No,
After
I'm
your
gonna
sixth trial.
FaceTime you, and then you can go in my
Yes.
pocket, and we'll go everywhere together, and
Yeah,
it'll be like
little
you're there.
POV.
We'll take you
No.
with us.
Mhm.
I was
AI
thinking of that.
or augmented AR, augmented reality. That's all the rage anyways. Come
I
on
don't think
in.
any of you watch Big Bang Theory, but there's an episode where Sheldon stays in his room and he like puts himself on a stick, like computer screen on a stick, and then it rolls around with
Like,
everyone.
didn't that happen on one of the 90 Day Fiance reunions? They wheel in those TV screens.
Yes, same concept. So just
Oh.
stick me on a screen and let me roll around with you.
I think that was like a thing with like in hotels. That was like the virtual tour guide. It was like a robot that would go and it had like a camera on it, and that was going to be like all the rage that you could do like site visits virtually, and this little robot would go through. And I remember it just like walking down the lobby. It was a weird. Just cut this whole thing. I'm moving on. Anyways, and now it's time for our Imagineering project of the week. For those joining us for the first time, each week our team selects a project manager to develop a thoughtful, strategic proposal for a new or updated Disney park, resort, or experience. Our ideas are grounded in reality, taking into account current technology and park layouts. While we're mindful of budget considerations, we're not limited by them, allowing for informed creativity that fits within the Disney brand. And this week's project manager is Steven.
Universal Orlando just announced an epic new theme park. The park says it will be called Universal's Epic Universe. It'll be a couple of miles away from the existing resort. Universal Park CEO says it will add 14,000 jobs to Orange County, with pay starting at $15 an hour. The 750-acre expansion will nearly double Universal's footprint.
And 5 years later, Epic Universe is here.
Can I just tell you, I remember, so I lived for most of Epic's construction, and before then I lived right across from it. So I saw everything, and it was nothing but cow fields back when I first started working in that area. And then just to see like they started clearing the land slowly out, and we knew something was coming. And then the announcement came, and getting to see it come up, and it would make these loud noises that would scare my dog. And it's so crazy that now it's like a real thing. We would go to the top of our parking garage to try to see in there with like binoculars to try to see what we could find.
I remember the day it was announced and us texting about it.
Yeah.
I remember like we were looking at the image and we were like, what is this? Like, is this a theme park? Is this like a city walk style thing? Like we couldn't
just a hotel.
Put our minds around it. And like you couldn't tell anything from that concept art they released. And now it's funny, if you look back at that concept art now, you can see everything. It's just so like vaguely like you wouldn't know, but it's all exactly where it was supposed to be, which is really interesting.
You know what I noticed too that's interesting? Have you guys kind of kept up with like all of the drone footage like above as things? And it's so interesting because when Disney builds something, they're very secretive until it opens. And I've noticed Universal, and I'm guessing they allow that footage, even though I've seen it from like fan sites and stuff, but they've almost like taken you with them throughout the process and like really been very open about it, which is just so interesting to me.
It's like how Disney was. Like Walt would do before the parks opened. Remember, he would do like the weekly show and show off the plans and stuff and how the progress is going. And they don't do stuff like that anymore. So you don't get to see it till it's done. And that's really smart and Universal.
It's genius promo because it's a new era, you know, where social media is going to be your biggest marketing aspect. So let people do it.
Yeah.
Let them see
what it's gotten me excited. So I mean, it definitely worked.
I think we talked about this once before, but when Islands opened, we talked about like the different market and what it was and how they didn't really know how to market this. They didn't know how the appeal was going to go or like how to really spread the word. So this is like the first time that they've been able to really like mass promote it. So they're just like blowing the doors off with like marketing and everything because now they can do it where they didn't do it last time and didn't know what to expect last time.
It's the first time in really any theme park history where you can utilize content creators to as a guaranteed way to get your content shared.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's cool that we're seeing this this new world that we're living in.
Yeah.
And rightly so, because they spent about $7 billion on this project, and it's their most ambitious and expensive theme park to date, obviously. It's going to push the boundaries of what a theme park can be, but you know, they haven't even actually maxed out the space for the park yet. They didn't build on all the land. So there are approximately 6 areas where they could expand the park, and it's something around 36.7 acres of available space. And like think about like Cars land that they're going to put in at Magic Kingdom, that's like 4 acres, 4.5 acres. So
Oh, wow.
there's so much that they can do here. And there's a lot of talk about what it could be. But Celestial Park, the big area in the center, is about 19.5 acres. How to Train Your Dragon is 13.65 acres approximately. And those are the 2 largest lands in the park. So they've got enough space to
Wow. Build like
do
another half a
double.
park.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought this might be a unique challenge for this episode to build out an expansion for a park that isn't even open yet, that I've never actually been to.
Woo!
That's
That was
amazing.
fun.
Yeah.
That is a first for this show. So, but that's going to be changing soon, as Katie and Jenny and I have tickets to visit in June. And of course, we're going to, like we said, we're going to do a full recap of that the following Monday. But over a year ago, I actually put together a nearly complete episode for an additional land at Epic Universe. I've been thinking about this for a long time. And I was going to take over the unused expansion pad between the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic area and the Isle of Berk to create a new themed area. But once I finished almost the entire project, I just didn't love it. It didn't feel like something I wanted to put out. It wasn't right. So I scrapped it and I just went back and created another project for something on Disney property. And I'm not going to tell you what I was planning in case one day I go back and fix it up for a future episode down the road. But just know that this isn't the first time I've thought about this. And I'm going to do a different approach for this episode. So Katie talked a little bit about Dark Universe and the monsters being her favorite aspect of Universal. And it seems to be one of the most highly anticipated lands. And they actually have about 3.25 acres of expansion pad in the back that hasn't been used. So we could build it out. So let's talk about what we know about the land so far. And Katie, I'm not going to give any spoilers, so you don't have to worry too much here. I think this is all information that everybody knows, and I'm not exposing anything here. But it's set in this eerie village of Darkmoor, and the legendary Universal monsters have unfolded as like historical events. And so at the heart of it stands Frankenstein's Manor, which is the home to Dr. Victorious Frankenstein, who continues her ancestors' experiments and pretty much attempts to control and cure monstrous beings that haunt this village. So that's kind of the idea of what the land is about. And then at the centerpiece is the attraction Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment. And this is going to be a cutting-edge dark ride where Dr. Victoria Frankenstein herself takes you through her lab, and you get to see a bunch of her experiments, I guess. So I don't even know where it goes from there, and I haven't watched any POVs. I try to avoid it anytime I see a reel or something. I swipe really quickly. So that did really propose a challenge when trying to work on this project, because I don't know all the details, whereas Disney, I know every in and out. But I want to take a step back. We were talking about when the park was first announced back in 2019 and the concept art. And so I looked at it again when I was making this, and I noticed something really interesting, that one element from the original artwork didn't make it into the final park.
Ooh.
I was just looking around in the image, and I put it here so you guys can see it. But I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about based off of this and like knowing what we know?
Hold on, I have to make it bigger because I minimized this while we're on it. So hang on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Hold on. No, wait. I really want to find it myself. Is it the little section in front of it? In front of the monsters? Like the yellow?
No.
Orange?
No.
I guess I shouldn't do colors.
I think that might still be there. I'm colorblind.
Or the one in the
orange.
Is it that space thing on the right?
Nope.
Well, I don't know. So I give up.
There appears to be a very large stadium-style outdoor theater connected to Dark Universe. Do you see it?
Is it like right in front of it, kind of?
I just showed you the image below
okay. Yep, there it is. Yeah.
I was like, no, I can't. I'm blind.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That just is so...
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was like maybe backstage or like storage space or something. Like I didn't even realize that, but you're right. In the front, it looks like it's like almost like an amphitheater or something.
Yeah. So what happened to it? I don't know. And
Is it coming?
So how do you extend the story of Darkmoor into a stadium show? Could it be a musical experience?
Yes.
I mean, that sounds right up my alley, but
if anyone's going to create that, it's you.
Dancing Mon. Do you remember they used to have that Beetlejuice? Do they still have it? The
Oh,
Beetlejuice
yes.
review,
Yes.
and that was absolutely terrifying. And they would come up to you when you didn't want to be talked to, and they would
yes,
monstrous
it's
things.
Funny, it's funny that you say that because I really considered like, what if you brought that back in some way and put it in there? And I just didn't feel like it really aligned with the Universal Monsters brand they went for with Darkmoor, so I kind of moved away from that. I didn't think like singing and dancing monsters was the vibe.
I mean, I'm here for
That's
it.
what I get.
And maybe it is. So scratch everything else that I've come up with.
Cancel this episode.
We're just bringing back Beetlejuice Graveyard Review, and thank you for listening. Have a good
Yep.
night.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Well, for real, then I started thinking about the size of this venue, and it looks monstrous. Pun intended there.
Ooh.
So I started to think of like theme park shows of the past that had this type of stadium feel. And I thought about like Lights, Motors, Action from
Okay.
Hollywood Studios. And then I thought, what if you did something like a monster truck show, because it's monsters and it's like an arena and each of the trucks could be like named and designed around a different monster.
Wait,
So
wasn't that what's that one? The
Gravedigger, like the big one.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Maybe he could have like a meet and greet.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
Gravedigger.
So-
Maybe that's Frankenstein's monster drives that.
Yeah. So you could do that. And it just didn't feel right either. Everything I've heard about this land makes it seem like you're like dropped into this spooky village, and it just didn't add up to monster trucks. So
You could do Sweeney Todd.
you could just
Ooh.
the musical, just bring
Yeah.
the Broadway
Why not?
show, bring an abridged theme park version of Sweeney Todd.
Okay, what about yeah, exactly. We could throw some monsters in.
Yeah.
You could do Rocky
Well,
Horror Picture Show.
Yeah,
or-
that's a good one. Mhm.
Oh, Jenny, yes.
Is that Universal?
I don't know. I don't think-
No, actually.
Well,
Is that
Well,
family friendly either?
We're getting the rights.
No, definitely not.
Well, I don't
didn't
know. It
think
sounds
so.
like the Monsters
It's part of
Unchained
my
attraction
childhood.
isn't family friendly. So
It's part of my
Well,
childhood.
I started to consider, what have they currently given a lot of representation to, and what have they not given representation to? So we know Frankenstein is covered.
Mm-hmm.
We know
Creature
Wolf.
from the Black Lagoon is not covered, right?
Correct.
That's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Matt has a
So,
T-shirt of it. It's one of my
yes.
absolute favorite monster movies. And
I
I'm
will tell
sad.
you all that they don't know anything about this project, so she really just guessed where I was going with that one.
Yeah. Are you?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I never would have
So-
guessed that ever.
No.
He's really kind of a monster that's different from all of the rest of them, and he
It's
just
true.
lurks in the shadows, like
From the Black
no-
Lagoon.
but he's deep underwater,
It's your nightmare.
Exactly.
Oh, that is your nightmare.
So take your seats for Legend of the Black Lagoon.
So excited.
I love that you didn't know.
This just made my night. Yay.
Yes.
I don't even care I have to get up for work in 5 minutes. This is great.
I don't think I really know anything about this.
I don't either.
Well, you're in luck.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
I think you can watch it on YouTube. I watched part of it like recently. So
It's in black and white.
correct.
It's crazy old.
Mhm.
Yeah. So our story begins outside of the arena. Universal has stated that there will be actors portraying characters of Darkmoor wandering the village, and we want to keep that theme going here as well. So, as you approach the stadium, be aware of mad scientists displaying their ideas about bizarre and unexplained phenomena. One may have like a severed Frankenstein hand, another may have a two-headed snake. Could be anything. They're eagerly going to share stories of their friend, Dr. Carl Maya, who recently discovered strange fossils markings deep in the Amazon. But there's a sense of unease in the air. Nervous scientists whisper about these unexplainable findings, while a jittery fisherman warns of creatures they don't want us to know about.
Ooh.
The once confident researchers now seem paranoid, urging guests to attend Dr. Maya's talk for the full story. So we're going to do a little time travel here. Since Darkmoor is set in the 19th century, we need to fast forward to about 1950. And we're going to use an old Disney trick like they use at California Adventure, where you enter the park in the 1920s, and as you walk down the street, the architecture and the setting kind of transitions you into the 30s and beyond. So we discussed this back in our Animation Courtyard episode on Season 2, Episode 8, if you want to hear more about that. But if anybody wants to question it, I kind of came up with these answers. So time in Darkmoor, it doesn't work like everywhere else. It's its own thing. And there was so much inexplicable activity in Darkmoor that it sparked some government interest and investigation, and they set up camp there in the 1950s. So I felt like it really gives the opportunity for the lore to even expand more from there, that maybe like the government is involved in creating monsters. And I don't know if it's really relevant for this, but I just liked the world building possibilities of it. Yeah. It could bring in some conspiracy.
I love this idea. I love that you're creating a whole new story within the story. I know we talked about this in other episodes, and we talked about our favorite episodes, and we talked about Tower of Terror, and that's one of the things that I love. Like, I love creating a whole new story within that story. So it's like, yes, you're using IP and everybody knows it, but it's your own twist on it. It's its own
It's
thing.
not a retelling.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
I love it.
So we're going to do all of this time travel as you approach the stadium, and the scenery is going to change to like an eerie kind of post-Cold War American setting. And as guest leaves Darkmoor's medieval streets, the environment really just shifts. Like, visibly, you're going to see like cracked pavement, rusting fences, maybe like a faded government research facility sign, and this kind of hinting at a new kind of mystery for Darkmoor. And you'll hear hidden speakers that are playing creepy 1950s radio broadcasts about strange fossil discoveries and Cold War fears and sci-fi horror. So it's all like not so blatant, but just an ambiance of storytelling happening there.
I like that.
I really want to just set it up as like the creepiest vibe, because I have a feeling that that's kind of what this land is going to be about. And we're going to know soon, but I want that to be what it is. So as you enter the stadium, the massive stage area and the set are going to appear as like this simple conference-style presentation stage from the 1950s with a podium for Dr. Maya to tell you about all his findings. So a quick note here, I did decide to enclose the theater so that we can control the lighting levels during the daytime and kind of prevent any rain or lightning cancellations. And who doesn't love an air conditioning break? So if nothing else, that will draw crowds.
Woo.
So that's going to be the variation of what it looks like on the concept art. But the show's going to begin with an announcement welcoming Dr. Maya to the stage. He'll begin his speech, and he uses a simple old school projector to show off the fossils he found on his latest expedition, and mentions he wants to go back to the site. And he asks the crowd if they have any interest in joining him.
Yes.
So we're going to all cheer, and we're off. And the set change will be absolutely show-stopping. The stage room that he was standing on is going to disappear as the set reveals a full-on swamp set straight out of the Amazonian jungle. Ooh. So what was all covered by black is now revealing the stage that was all behind it and covering it. So the front of the stage is going to have an 8-foot glass wall with a giant tank, water tank. So think like SeaWorld show tanks, but just no animals and like a greenish, murkier water. Okay. And on the left-hand side of the stage is a glass wall that's 2 stories tall with water from top to bottom. So it's kind of like an L shape where the left side is like its own tank that's really tall, and then the bottom of the L goes all the way across, more like a SeaWorld style tank. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm creeped out by this.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
The greenish, murky water.
Good. That's what I want.
And a giant pool. No.
Perfect. So all of a sudden, a Jeep will burst through the back of the stage and skids up just before hitting the water. and it's Dr. Maya and his research crew. He takes you over to where he found the fossil, and a magical, terrifying lightning strike hits the spot, and the tank on the far left lights up as we see the creature, aka Gillman, swimming from the bottom all the way to the top. And this is going to be a trained swimming performer, like scuba certified stuntman.
Yeah.
And so it'll be so creepy. He'll come out of nowhere from the bottom of this tank and swim up the side, and you'll just see him disappear.
This show has it all. Flying jeeps,
Mhm.
Gillman, performer
That's
extraordinaire.
Yes.
That's right. And then lightning strikes again and he's gone. But if you look at the other side of the stage, you'll see, what is that? Another swamp creature?
No!
Oh no.
Are there more?
Multiple?
Why, yes, there are. More and more swamp creatures appear at the top of the set and dive into the swamp pool below. And they don't exit quietly.
Ew.
The creatures will crawl over the walls of the front of the tank and pass through the aisles, giving the audience everyone there an
Oh,
up-close,
no.
personal sighting of these
Absolutely not.
monsters.
This is scarier than the Beetlejuice review.
Yeah, it is. Well, this is the point where they break out into song.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want dancing creatures, not this.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Do they give us jazz hands at any point in the performance?
They just might not. And
Oh.
with a final terrifying roar from one of the creatures, the lights go out completely. Those creeps are in there with you in the dark.
Oh my
Where's
god.
the Cats
We're-
the
You're
musical?
not going to be with me because I'm not going.
She's not going. We are plunged into darkness for a brief moment, heightening the fear. Then, in a dramatic burst of light, the largest creature, Gillman, is back. He reappears at the center of the stage, towering over Dr. Maya and the crew. He's now fully revealed in all his terrifying glory, and his eyes are glowing in the eerie light.
I hate him.
Mhm. Dr. Maya looks up in horror and shouts, "We've made a grave mistake!" as the Gillman lets out a guttural roar.
Oh my
I don't want
god.
to hear that noise ever.
In one final pulse of lightning, the entire set darkens and a loud crash echoes through the theater. The creatures seem to retreat, disappearing into the shadows.
No, what shadows? Get out of here.
Mhm. And they can't see him, but the audience hears Dr. Maya's voice shouting in the distance, "It's not over! Send for help!" As the lights slowly fade to black, a body drops from the ceiling and hits the water, splashing as the audience is left in the dark to process this incredible spectacle they've just
Did
witnessed.
someone just die?
Someone
I
just
don't know.
died.
I don't
What
know.
that to me, when I put that in, I thought it could be similar to the moment in Haunted Mansion when you're in the stretching room and
yep.
you hear that scream and you see the
Yeah.
body and then you're in pitch black.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of bring
It
that
was
over.
scary.
Mhm.
Back to
No,
Magic
this-
Kingdom. This is too scary for me.
This feels like Alien Encounter.
Yes.
I am loving
Mhm.
this.
Yeah.
It's everything I wanted and more. And a
Mhm.
creature themed alien encounter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Creature encounter?
We need a scary show. There's no scary show.
Bring
Yeah.
it on.
And this is the place to do it. So as the lights fully turn back on, we're back in the presentation room where we started, but there's a projection on the screen of a missing person with Dr. Maya's face on it. And it's just leaving everyone with the lingering mystery of the creatures and the unsettling question, are they still out there?
I hope so.
Well,
Oh wait, the body was Dr. Maya?
maybe. We don't know.
Oh,
we
I'm
don't
not
know. It's a
saying who it was.
mystery.
It could be anyone. It could be his team. It could be a creature. It could be him.
Wow.
We'll never know.
Okay.
Hmm. Well, logistics wise, the theater is going to seat around 2,500 people with about 6 shows per day. So if you're looking at getting about 15,000 guests off the pathways and ride queues over the course of the day if this runs at optimal THRC.
What's good for for entertainment for like a show? What's good on that one?
This is really high.
Okay. Okay.
So this
a
is
bigger one.
like, I base these numbers off of Lights Motor Action.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
I think the theater is it's going to be about the same size. So think about how many people you could cram into that stadium and how many they really did cram into that stadium.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to get people out of
Out.
line
Yep.
and out of the streets. So that's a big plus of this, especially at a park like this.
Mm-hmm.
Having 2,500 people out of something, out of doing anything, is going to be felt in a good way. So,
And how long is it?
I would say probably about 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's great. Getting them off
Yeah.
the streets for that length.
15,000 guests. That's wild.
I'm going to be on the
Mhm.
streets. Y'all have fun.
Marissa will not be there.
No,
She's
I'm
gonna
like
be
stressed out from this. I don't like it. Sorry,
She'll be in
Steven.
line for Harry Potter again.
Yeah, it's too scary.
Well, lastly, the expansion area that I was referring to is actually at the back of the land. So I feel like we could have a lot of fun with the time travel transition elements because you won't see them until you go back there for this specific show. So it's like the land is preserved as is, and this is like you're extending backwards and traveling through time in the back.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the story. I like how
Thank
you
you.
explained it. I like how you made it
Yeah.
fit and go into it.
Yeah,
And it seems
I thought
like
it would be tricky because it was like, how do you? This is a more modern story, but I think of the same thing of like, how do they do it? And I don't know yet because if they've got these monsters that kind of cross different time spans, how do they put them all together and in a place that is predating a lot of what
maybe
they're
the
doing?
Maybe the 50s is the current time.
Could
maybe
be,
that's
yeah.
the reality, and the government has found these, and they've created the monsters universe as the alternate reality in the reverse. But the monsters are so conceited and only think of themselves that they think their universe is the only one that matters.
Well, speaking of logistics, what are you think? Like, are you like are these animatronics? Are they actors?
No, these are stunt performers and like I'm picturing like divers that you would see
like so the ones crawling down the aisle are
they're coming out of the water like they were the divers and the stunt performers that were in the water and they're crawling out into the
what about this one
audience.
Giant monster at the end?
So I thought about there's different ways I could go with that, and I kind of left it ambiguous so that it can kind of be whatever you want it to be. I was thinking about the Taka puppet they have on the new Disney Cruise Line. It's like a 15-foot puppet that is really scary and like really cool. So I thought maybe we could do something like that with Gilman.
Cool.
So he's like twice the size of the human version that we saw swimming earlier. I thought it could be a real person again that had like glowing eye mask on. I don't know. Could be
lots of
possibilities. Be whatever,
Or like what's the dragon made of in Phantasmic? Because that's
that's like a rig. That's I don't know what they've made that of, but it's like a very abstract looking dragon.
It is very abstract looking. It almost looks like it's made of a kite almost sometimes. You know, like it's very papery looking.
Yeah. This isn't going to be like that.
I like it though. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this show will be an action-packed stunt performance featuring like state-of-the-art staging and special effects, and it's much needed entertainment to the monsters themed area. And because the Ministry of Magic and Isle of Berk are getting a major show, and so I feel like this attraction could be a thrilling, immersive experience to kind of balance out the offerings of the park, because that side doesn't have anything, because Super Mario Land doesn't have any shows either, as far as I know. But thought it could be like a little standout addition that brings the monster legends to life in a nice, memorable way.
Yeah.
It's very fun, very different. And I wouldn't have thought of, I feel like for shows, we always instantly think of like fairy tales
musicals.
And rainbows and sunshine. And it's great.
Singing and dancing.
And I like this different spin on it because we don't see enough of that. And like, I like Sweeney Todd, and that's a weird, creepy, scary musical. And
it just feels very universal. Like you wouldn't see this done at a Disney park, and I think that's kind of what's creeping about
Alien Encounter died.
Yeah, that's true. Alien Encounter didn't survive, so maybe this is where it belongs in its scary place.
Yeah, I've always felt that Universal is much better with that, and they have that horror makeup show, which I know
that's
isn't.
What I was just thinking.
It's not like traditionally scary, but as a kid, I was terrified when the thing came out as The Fly, and then other weird things happen. So I feel like they're good at pushing that envelope, and that's kind of always been their thing.
It's geared toward adults and teens, and it's not. This isn't for kids unless they're brave. So
I like it. I wonder
There
at what
you go.
point the theater fell off from like the original
I know.
artwork.
I'm so
Yeah.
curious about that.
Yeah, like when did they eliminate that?
Mhm.
And
What was it going to
the
be?
right?
Like they must have had something going
Yeah,
there.
something in mind.
Is
Something
that
massive.
space still empty?
Yeah.
That's not used.
Mhm. It's not used. So, hold on, let me look at the picture again because it might be where the werewolf coaster is.
Is
I
this
think
the
that's what it
original
is.
from 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the 2019.
Okay.
I think the werewolf, I forget what it's called, coaster is going has replaced that spot. So
Got
um,
it.
yeah.
Because
So
I think originally wasn't it only supposed to be the one ride?
maybe that's
in
what.
Monsters?
Maybe that's why. Maybe they thought we need another ride. We can't
Mhm.
just have a show here. We need actually something for people to sit down on and be
Yeah.
thrown
Yeah.
around.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so as my final pitch to all of you listening, I am exploring a potential new expansion for the highly anticipated Dark Universe land set in the eerie village of Darkmoor and featuring monsters from Universal's iconic legacy like Frankenstein and Dracula. The proposed edition is a large stadium-style show, Legend of the Black Lagoon, and takes guests into the mysterious world of creatures lurking deep underwater. It combines live actors, special effects, and immersive story that blends the 19th century Darkmoor village with a post-Cold War era research facility. The theater show will bring the story to life with underwater creatures, a lightning-struck swamp, and a heart-stopping finale, leaving guests on the edge of their seats, except Marissa, as they are plunged into darkness.
I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat,
Ooh.
but I'm gonna strap back in because I'm not going.
She's on the edge.
We'll tell you how it is, Marissa.
Because she's not interested and she's
I
leaving.
mean, the detail you
Mhm.
thought of and everything you put into this project sounds incredible. It's just it's too much for me.
Terrifying.
She's spooked, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
Wow.
yeah.
So this isn't one of our maps, but you can see the expansion pad that did that 3.25 acres on the map there if you want to get an idea of where it's going.
I'm also optimistic that they built this stuff with the intentions that they're going to last for a long time. Like
Mhm.
they built the
Yeah.
expansion is to add new stuff rather than replace the existing
Yeah.
stuff. So I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
That-
Agreed.
a promising. All right.
Yep.
Well, I can't wait to be at Dark Universe looking for this like it really exists next month. All right, now it's time to call on our listeners. Will this proposal bring legends of Universal monsters to life in a way that has us screaming with joy? Or will it be a dud like a monster that just can't get its roar right? We need you to help us decide. Vote in our poll on Thursday and let us know if this thrilling new show is ready to make a splash in Darkmoor or if it needs a little bit more time to stir up some more scares.
All right, folks, the countdown is officially on. The little one is almost here, so much so that he might already be here by the time this episode airs. Next week will be my last show before Steven finally gives me the green light to go on maternity leave.
No,
He hasn't given me a green light. He just has no choice. But I am sure he'll miss me. But don't worry, I've still got one more full episode in me before I step away for a bit to welcome the new edition. So make sure you tune in next week for my final hurrah before the baby steals the spotlight.
Oh, I can't wait to meet our new baby host in a few weeks.
I know. Our newest little employee coworker.
Oh, our newest little idiot. Can you say that about someone's child?
Yeah.
Well,
Will you
In
be
this
offended?
case, yes.
Mhm.
Okay. And that's a wrap for this week. Thanks for listening, and thank you to my fellow idiots, Stephen, Jenny, and Marissa. Tune in next week as Marissa and Stephen go solo and take us on a magical journey inside their minds. And dear Lord, help us all. No one else to rein them in. But as always,
Aw.
if you can dream it,
You can make a podcast about it. Bye.
bye.